Hello, everyone, and welcome to Light Language Messenger. And for those of you watching on the Great Awakening Generator, you're very welcome here as well. How are you? How's everyone doing? Hey, share that in the comment section. I'd love to know about your experiences and what's unusual, and that we can have some good chat about it, or we can talk about it and we can say, oh my goodness, I didn't know that can happen. Is it an ascension symptom or whatever it is? Anyway, if you're new on the channel, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for your subscription and also for subscribing. And anyone that's watching and you haven't subscribed, thank you for watching. Yeah. Okay, so really good. And for those of you who don't know it, I'm Rose McNair, and I do the hosting of the Great Awakening Generator and the Light Language Messenger channels on YouTube. Now, today I want to bring in, and I know that we've had a little bit of irregularity and going on, and I've spoken about it before, and I'll say sorry about it. We will get there, right? Lots of things happening at the moment that prevent us from actually, sometimes it's just not energetically possible to be in the space to do recordings. And I know that you understand this because some of you are going through this as well. All right. So I apologize in advance. Okay. So today I was strongly guided to go and look at the Oracle card deck, Whispers of Healing for our light language. So that's it. If you can see it, here we are, Whispers of Healing. I did one last week, I think. We did one, or a couple, not last week, the week before, from the Whispers of Healing Oracle card deck by Angela Hartfield. And the artwork is by Josephine Wall. I was going to say Josephine Wall first, but anyway. So today's card, I'm going to bring it up on the screen because I think we'll get going with it. However, before I do that, let me tell you about this stuff here. Now, if any one of you have heard of Steve Nobel, he does these amazing meditations, and they really are powerful meditations. They can really shift you. Every time I do a meditation that Steve Nobel guides, because of the topics that he's talking about, it clears a lot of past life stuff. He's got so many topics, so many unusual ones. Like, I'll read one for you, right? I get his newsletter, so I'll just tell you what one topic is, so if you're interested in it. But I want to read his commentary from his newsletter because I thought it was so encouraging that I wanted to share it with all of you. Now, this is not my work, and I will be referencing Steve Nobel, but I just thought it moved me so much. It made so much sense to me that I wanted to share it with all of you. Okay. So some of the meditations are called Temple of Aphrodite, Transmission, Release Old Heartbreak, Open to Divine Love, right? So, that is like romantic love, releasing that Aphrodite, it says here, Aphrodite is the goddess of romantic love, sensuality, pleasure, and magnetic attraction. In her temple of light, we receive a healing and also learn to open to more divine love and divine connection. So really clearing that stuff, any baggage you're carrying, that's what I think, moving forward, because we really want to have the best relationships, right? Moving into the new age or the golden age, or doing this transformation process. Don't you want to have the best relationships that you've ever had before? Because if all is supposed to be in stasis and balance and love and all of those things coming together, then surely it means love prevails, right? It means that we are in our best relationships, and we deserve our best relationships. So, I don't know much about twin flames, so no, that's not what I'm meaning. I mean relationships in the romantic sense. And that ability to navigate life from that higher perspective and see things differently, where we are not judging everything, but we are embracing everything, and we're looking at it, and we can see the other perspective, or we understand why that person is doing what they're doing, and we can understand it, empathize with it, and we can address it from a really high vibrational point. I mean, that's the way I want to have a relationship, right? I don't want to think about, oh, this doesn't work, I'm leaving it. Or even if I do choose to leave it, I want to know I left it in a really good way. So that's what I think is going to be really helpful for us in doing meditations like that. But I want to read what Steve says to you. Says in his he gives a little bit of a commentary here And I'm probably not going to say all the words. I mean, there's nothing bad to say, but this is what he said. Global News is one of the titles on his in his newsletter. The more a star seed awakens, the crazier the three-dimension world will appear. This view is not shared by beings who are locked into the 3D matrix, and there is little point trying to persuade anyone locked in 3D, since their heart and mind will not be able to accept a more cosmic point of view. So many watch the 3D news on so many watch the 3D news on the TV or read a TV newspaper in order to anchor themselves in some sense of 3D stability. Only in 3D and certain layers of 4D can war exist. Starseeds are not here to demonstrate against injustice. We have our own mission. A few starseeds have selected to assist in dismantling old structures, and they have been called whistleblowers. This is a specific mission and certainly has its dangers. Many starseeds are here as light workers, channelers, healers, DNA activators, spiritual awakeners. Some are here to work with arts, some with earth grids, some to create community. Many are here as builders, creators, innovators of the new projects, new structures, new systems. Some are here to neutralize dark forces. Again, not an easy mission. This is one aspect of his mission, which is why he spent many years exploring shamanism. There's a pointer. So he's exploring shamanism, witchcraft, metaphysics, and other forms of magical practices. He says he's not alone in this mission. It is important to note that Satanism is not to do with shamanism, witchcraft, or any similar magical practice. Satanism is a direct inversion of Christianity, and high-ranking practitioners may appear to follow Christianity, though behind closed doors may well practice its inversion. We have to remember that every religion, including Christianity, has long been hacked into dark forces. This is true. That is why we have things like religious war, right? So he says he's sure that many starseeds are aware that let's not just say, okay, I'll say it. Many starseeds are aware that the Vatican is not a center of light. Okay, many starseeds are aware of that. We are in a period of spiritual warfare. Those starseeds are not here to lock horns with the dark. They are here to learn how to dance beyond the dark. A new age of light is upon us, and the incoming light will eventually destroy all structures and agendas of the dark. This is a slow process, and he says he understands the impatience of many starseeds who want to completely end the outgoing age of darkness. Patience is required, he says. Dear family, patience is required. Dear family of light, actually, the dark is seeking every which way to block the ascension process, but everything they do right now is helping to awaken the human collective. Friends, this is not my words. And I tell you why I read it to you, because I wanted to use it as a way of encouragement. I feel that Steve has put that so eloquently, and my words are not eloquent like that. And when I read it, I thought, this is exactly what we're going through in our world right now. And sometimes I get a bit fed up and I say, I wish this would be, and I get impatient, and I was like, I wanted to go end soon. Be strong. Know you have the strength. Because even if you're feeling impatient, even if you are feeling like, I wish this would go away, I don't want to know this, or whatever, we came for this. We have to go through this process, right? You have all the tools, you have all the information available to you on how you can protect yourself, how you can navigate this time, stuff that will support you through your navigation of this, right? So this week, the intention is to bring in messages from this Oracle card deck, Whispers of Healing by Angela Hartfield, right? Now, the card I'm going to show you is the Wellbeing card, because I was guided to show you that card first. I have a few that my guides gave me, and they've been sitting there and waiting for me to do the light language. So let me share the screen, all right? This card, here you go. You can see it, I think, by now. It's called the well-being card. I'm just going to see if I can make it a little bit smaller. There we are. It's called the well-being card. It's a number 21 card, which numerology goes down to a 3. So whatever the 3 means for you, for me, a 3 is my soul number. Or my soul, yeah, my soul number is a 3. Let's read it. It's a small message, but it's an effective one. Coming back to what I was saying, how do we navigate now? One of the things we navigate is having well-being, taking care of our well-being, right? So these cards are very much about healing and health and navigation. It's about physical healing. It's about physical, practical steps you can take to look after yourself, all of you, holistically, your mind, your body, your soul, your heart. So the messages in these cards are very much around that because it's whispers of healing. Let's read. Having an upbeat nature doesn't just happen. If you would like to enjoy your life and maintain a positive outlook, it is important to take an enthusiastic approach. Staying positive and appreciative through life's dilemmas can prove difficult. Examine your approach to life. Reflect on how your lifestyle and worldview impacts your attitudes and behaviors. Once you have clarity in these areas, you can let go of what is not effective and make change toward your wellness. Make a real effort to change your unhealthy habits. Through this process, you will be able to determine what is essential to you. As you alter your behavior, you will enjoy a sounder body, mind, and spirit. This will mean balancing your relationships and work. You will be able to find healthy channels where you can spend your time more favorably and enjoyably. The flowing hair and light surrounding this illuminated fairy depict the natural flow of energy. Foxglove, this is the foxgloves, right? These are the flowers. Foxglove relates to self-awareness and knowing where your energy is best utilized. The spider webs point to life choices and places where you might be deceiving yourself. Now, I am trying to find the spider webs, and I must admit I can't. They must be all here somewhere. Friends, if you can see this, oh, there we are. The spider webs are here in the bushes. Okay, can you see it? It's a little bit dark for whatever reason, but here are spider webs here. The spider webs point to life choices and places where you might be deceiving yourself. As you balance your well-being, you will untangle your webs, changing your habits to bring more wellness into your life. Right, have a look, friends. It's quite a beautiful picture. And the pictures in this card deck gets even more beautiful. This is so beautiful. But there might be a spider web up here. But look at this beautiful fairy. There's one here too, I think, near the wings. And I love the foxglove. I feel like it's so telling us to go out there and appreciate even the flowers and the nature in this is telling us to go out and appreciate nature and appreciate our world. Very beautiful card. I'm going to stop sharing. I just want to say a few things before we carry on with some language for us today. I have started doing my well-being thing. And you know what? For a long time, I didn't feel like I wanted to do anything. Stuff just sat there, unmoved, undone. Okay, given the last, for all of you that watch regularly, you know what I've been talking about in terms of my health and life in the last, say, 12 months, right? And suddenly things just stood still. And I wasn't doing a lot of the things I would ordinarily do. At the moment, in order to bring my well-being and bring my life, my whole life to a state of well-being and balance, I am going in and I'm doing stuff that I wasn't doing. Like, for example, my puzzle is still sitting here. It's been sitting here for the last year. Okay, probably not 12 months, probably 9 months. And I just couldn't get it. And I wanted to put it away without completing it. And I thought, well, I would not feel great if I did that. It's getting there. It's almost there, right? And I'm going to take a picture and share it with you when it's all done. Okay. But that's a a hobby and a pleasurable thing, right? I was doing an accounting course and I just kept procrastinating it. It was online and it had all this time, and I just thought I did some, and then I left it, and then life was happening and all of that. And now I am working towards completing the course, because as an accountant, you need to keep up your professional development. You have to keep up development in the sense that you are keeping abreast of all the changing accounting legislation, right? So you have to do some study every year. Okay, so there you go. That's what I'm doing. I'm bringing it up to completion at the moment. So I'm working on that. Even around the house, I have changed things around. I've moved plants that were just sitting in one place and just left there unattended, neglected. That's not well-being. It's because the plants being neglected says I'm also neglecting myself, right? It's a reflection of what's happening with me personally. Now, I share that with you because I want to say, even cleaning the house, cleaning a cupboard, completing that course that you were doing and you kept procrastinating on, these things are all contributing to well-being. Yes. All right. Watching what you're eating. I'm starting to really, in the past, I would think of walking the dog as, oh gosh, do I really have to do that? And Baxter, being Baxter, as feisty as he was, did not make it easy to walk him on the street, because he'd want to chase a cat if he saw it, or he might sometimes just get into a mood and then bark at another dog and go ahead like he wants to go and attack the dog sometimes. I don't know why it was happening, but I listened to something this week that says it's a reflection of my emotions. And I'm like, oh gosh, what is going on with my emotions? Apparently our pets reflect, their behavior reflects some things that we are not expressing, right? So anyway, I changed that a few months ago, where I stopped walking Baxter on the streets because I felt it was quite stressful. And I started doing this thing where we go to a dog park, or we go to the reserve, and I just let him run free. And he has a jolly good time, and I have a wonderful time. And I'm really, really starting to love and enjoy the walks we take. So we take a lot of walks. Well, we always walk every day. We're walking, right? Sorry about the sound if it's coming out not so loud. I've got to get my position right here. But so we take walks every day, but I try to make these walks really, like, I'm patient with it, because normally he just wants, as dogs do, they just want to sniff. They want to go to this place, then they want to go to that place. And I try to be okay with that, because that's what he's a dog and that's what he's doing. And as the human, I need to understand the nature of the dog and do that, and let him do that, because that makes him a better dog, gives him a better psyche or disposition throughout the day, right? So this morning we walked on the beach, and I walked into the water with him. He had a bit of a swim. It was nice to be on the sand, walking on the sand, and just grounding myself. And I thought, this is it. Is this the life you want? Is that how you want to live? For me, yeah. I want to be able to walk the dog and not feel rushed. I have to be somewhere. And even if I need to be somewhere, but plan it in such a way that it's easy for him, for me. Well-being, well-being. Okay, let's do our light language invocation today. Friends, I am trusting for you, wherever you are, that you will gain something out of the language, and that the codes coming through with the language will charge you into what it is that you need, to have well-being. I'm finding I think about something and suddenly it appears in my world. And I talked to the guides, my squad in spirit, a couple of days ago, and I said, I don't know why I'm losing so much hair. And I'm currently using something in my hair that is supposed to be a natural product, but I feel like the hair is just falling out in clumps. And I thought, okay, what do? I need to do something. I know in the past when I've had my hair falling a lot, that I would find something like, some vitamin pill or whatever that worked for me. And nowadays, vitamin pills don't really work for me. And then suddenly I found this thing come up. Maybe it's YouTube listening to me that's just suddenly suggesting this. But it was for a mixture of talking about the organic castor oil and how it helps your skin and your hair, right? And then my guides also reminded me that I have black seed oil, which is also very good for skin and hair. And yeah, I just said I didn't like the way my skin was turning out after I've been unwell. I'm sort of recovering, but it changed my appearance, and so I didn't feel like there was well-being in there, right? So I know we talk about things and we're digressing from one place to the other, but it's still coming back to this topic of well-being, right? Okay, let's do some language. Right, friends, we are going to charge ourselves with well-being through the light language, okay? Feet firmly planted on the ground. Ho la le la la lo lo chila male to forana la solo my zen le lo do 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 no mahai. Here you are male no. Take a breath. Kutrama. Oh la 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 la, she la 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 lo le la ma he la ma he man sele. Oh la la le no la no do da da na da do da na na get a madam. He lo 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 ma salama soflane. It's le make it sofolan, it's le kit you high. Oh, le sile kuru chila la le chulo la. Friends, feel the well-being, the lights of well-being coming down from the heavens. Elolo kuchina makitso forana. Ibaba kutulola nzalelala jola zeno. Kulo makitso forana ri kutulo maki farana kikula hina kuchia. Okane ala salama selamo kemanzola denanaye. Kulama shulama sofrana heraro salai. Hoa selamai no tenama hoai. Hira kutane no kutane machinam. Here tselaro katselamahai. Oale ale la le chano kerena. Kolava salavo sanachina dolama kore I am. Oh I am. Kolama sameketono. Elamo kutomane me kitamaro tomara katomare katamato tomara kotona mata tafaranahai. Kutamai karamato. Askero fotono kurishta keramato. Tekaramaho. Ikurono chelana teta farana tsukurama ikapacholoko. Iso kusanama simate korona tata farana hai kutorama itsa farana hai tukorama kitafarana hai. O chelana araba kutsa mikitsame kuchu me katatana matsu katabai no kutotoranate. Itse kuro rama tsulo totoro mahai. Eteleme chela batsolo mako farana hai tsakorona taitana matso farahe tomoro kotona kitate. Takaromahino. Thank you, friends. Samaru kota farana hai. Irauro no kuchelana na mai kitamarana toto farana katoto parana katukoto parakato fatane. I want to reiterate, friends, that guides are definitely just causing things to appear in our lives. Right now, the energy is so amazing and it's shifted into such a high frequency that you think things and they appear. You speak about things and yeah, okay, I said YouTube might be listening and suggesting things to me, but wasn't it a good thing? It doesn't always have to be bad things, right? So, as I say, I've been finding that in the last week or so that I've been invoking the help of dragons for and yes, we do come back to dragons because that's what we're supposed to do, right, at this time and space. And at the moment today we are looking at working with the elementals, right? So what I want to say is I've learned, because we've done all these invocations with the dragons, right? And I've been learning to call upon the dragons more. So this last week I had to have a difficult conversation with Well, it's not a difficult conversation. It's a conversation that is not meant to be difficult, but it was challenging to get through to the person in the customer services department of the insurance company. They replied to me sometime in December, and then I never heard back from my response to them. And eventually I had to call, and it was challenging because right now contacting banks or insurance companies or any company is not as easy. You just don't get the quick service like we used to get, right? Or like we used to be getting, or that we are accustomed to. Anyway, on Friday I called. First, I called on Thursday to follow up, and then I was told this person would call me back, and then I never heard back. And then on Friday, I followed up with a call, and I said, well, I started up with this issue with with a banking ombudsman because it's something to do with an insurance that I had with a bank. And if we don't have resolution, or if this person doesn't come back to me, then I'm going to have to go back to them. And then the person who took the call said, well, I'm sorry, I did give the message. I will see what I can do now, because if he hasn't called you, then I'll see what I can do now. And as that person put me on hold, I put myself on mute and I started to invoke the help of the dragons. And I said, please, dragons, can we please have help here? Can you help? Because I need this to be, I need this resolution to take place soon. Things are going to need to happen, and this is just going on for a long time, and I need for it to be resolved. And then after about 10 minutes, the person came back to me and said, hey, you know what? He will be calling you. He's in a meeting this morning, and he will be finished in about 10 minutes, and he'll give you a call after that. And of course, I got the call, not precisely to the time, and that was okay. I wanted the call. I wanted to have the conversation, because it's a conversation that's 6 weeks late. Anyway, this person suddenly presented me with an option for something that had a closed door. And I'll tell you more about it as we progress, right? It had an option for a closed door. The email reply that I got originally said, for example, that's the condition of the policy, and that's that. There's no going back into it. And then the other part of it was, okay, here we are. This is something we can go into. But the conversation I had on Friday was saying to me, well, you have another step that you can take. It doesn't end there for the first part. I'm obviously not giving you details because, well, we don't need to do that. And then after that, and then it's going to go before the Financial Markets Authority, which I never thought I could actually do. So that's okay. And the other aspect of it, a board sits down and discusses this, and they do it in the midweek. And so by the end of this week, I might have an answer. And I thought, thank you, dragons. I don't realize how much help I have. And, if I can, I'm just going to turn that off. That was the bird. I don't realize that's a minor bird, by the way. I don't realize how much help I have and how much assistance and tools are available to me, and I need to use that. I need to know that, and I need to use that. I say this to you because I want to encourage you to do that. I am encouraging you to call upon the dragons, call upon your archangels, call upon the unicorns to help you, because these are amazing beings that are here for here and now. They have availed themselves for this time of awakening that we're going through, and they have decided. One second, I'm just going to have to just put the camera off. Yes, and they've decided that they wanted to be here for this time. Remember, the dragons have been waiting for us to awaken. And they've been around since 2012. So ask for their assistance. So friends, I know it's not a dragon invocation today, but I felt that these cards, I had a whole set of cards that came out from that deck. I was guided to it. And there's 8 cards that came out. And I felt that these cards had come out specifically for this time of the year, specifically for how you're navigating right now. Some people are still under the impression we are in the old energy. I need to say that something changed and shifted from about the 15th of December going into, Mercury went direct, and on the 15th of January, but Mercury was in retrograde at that time, some of Mercury's movements. Then we had all of this stuff happening with the solstice, but we also had things like Kali Yuga, all of that, right? So please start to look at yourself. I know for me, with the way the last 3 to 4 years has been, I just went from a trajectory of being okay to just not taking care of myself, just not looking at my surroundings and how I needed to change this. I wasn't living in a pigsty, but I was, the house is not like that. I couldn't live like that. But there were certain things like, I needed to iron my clothes before I packed them away in my cupboard, because that made me feel better when I ironed clothes. I was unwell and struggling to do those things, but I started to do all these different things for myself. And even when I started doing ironing my clothes, I kind of stopped after a while. And now I've got to get back on track with it. But yeah, just those things, unfinished business, like a course that you might have to do that you're procrastinating with it, go and do it. It's time to do it. Someone said to me that I need to do my unfinished projects. I need to complete them by my birthday, which is not far away. All right, friends, thank you so much. Thank you for watching both here on Light Language Messenger and the Great Awakening Generator. And until next time, keep reaching for the stars. Namaste.